What's up guys? In today's video, I'm going to walk you guys through a really quick and easy way that I came up with to repair a rip in your factory air intake. These Subaru OEM air intakes are notorious for developing a rip right where that hose clamp attaches. And the solution that I came up with will actually seal a small rip or a hole in that air intake. And it could also be used to really protect any air intake from developing a rip underneath that hose clamp. Thanks for checking out the video guys, I really appreciate it. My name's Luke, this is the SubaruONLY Show. This is my little SubaruONLY shop. It's a DIY Subaru channel. It's a channel where all I do is Subaru builds and race Subaru vehicles and motorsport events. It's a DIY themed channel where I walk you guys through the steps to get your Subarus back on the road and hopefully do a little racing of your own. So thanks for checking out the video guys, I really appreciate it. Okay, so this is a factory air intake, and there's a lot of reasons that people like to keep their factory intakes. One of the reasons is that in some states, you actually need it for your emissions. So that's a really good reason a lot of people actually need to keep their factory air intakes. And I'm sure there's other people out there that actually just like to keep and retain all the factory OEM components on their cars. Because for some people, keeping their car completely factory original with all the OEM parts is just their thing, and that's certainly cool by me. Eventually, if a car becomes a classic, actually, the examples that are completely stock OEM condition are usually the ones that are the most highly sought after. In my case, I'm actually swapping a later model 2005 WRX engine into a 1998 RS. And because I'm doing this swap, I'm actually going to have to take this car to an Air Resources Board inspection station and have them completely look over the car, run through all their checklist of inspections, and then it'll smog the car, and if I can pass, they're actually going to give me a plaque or a sticker that I can install in my engine bay, and that way this car will be completely street legal and able to be registered at the DMV to drive on California highways. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and turn it into a badass race car. Okay, so back to the air intake. This is a factory OEM air intake from my 2005 WRX engine. And I actually stuck a little light in this sucker, so hopefully you guys can see exactly where that little rip is. This little rip is exactly where that hose clamp goes. And anytime you use one of these serrated hose clamps, those suckers dig into the rubber and eventually they cause a rip and a hole in this air intake. And these air intakes are actually seeing a vacuum from the turbo. When you have a strong vacuum signal from that turbo, that can definitely suck air through that hose clamp and through that little rip. In that case, you're actually going to be sucking in air that bypassed your mass airflow sensor and isn't being recorded or measured by your ECU. And actually adding additional air is a really bad thing for a turbo motor because adding additional air will actually make that air-fuel ratio leaner, or actually more prone to knock, which is a major problem for your engine and will lead to piston failure and ringland damage. So if you got a rip in your air intake, you definitely want to take care of it. And that's what this video is all about. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that camera and bring it in for a close-up and show you guys what the hell it is I'm talking about here. Okay, here's the factory air intake, and if I rotate it over and bring it up for a close-up, you guys can see exactly where it is I'm talking about that this sucker has a rip. And that's exactly where that hose clamp actually pinches down onto that rubber, and over time it'll actually pinch right through that rubber and create a rip, which will actually let extra air in and will lead to a lean condition. So that's exactly what we're talking about here. And this is the repair I'm talking about, guys. This is actually a silicone little bracelet that I got on Amazon. I believe you can get these suckers for around $3 or $4 or even less, and if you buy them in bulk, you get them for a hell of a lot less. But what this is a nice little 1/2 inch wide, 8 inch in circumference silicone bracelet that actually has a stickier side on the underside. So if you dip this in water right before you install it, it's actually going to make it extra grippy and extra sticky, which will help it stick even better. So you go ahead and clean the sucker up and you put this over the air intake, and I'll show you guys how that works right now. So you take your air intake and you're going to go ahead and put this sucker over it, and you put it over just like that. And as you can see, that little silicone bracelet goes right around, it completely covers where that rip was. And if you put the hose clamp over the silicone, it's actually going to clamp down on this little silicone bracelet and actually seal that rip or that hole even better. And in addition to that, the fact that this air intake is seeing a negative vacuum from your turbo actually means that this little silicone bracelet will get sucked down into that whole rip even stronger when that turbo is sucking on it and applying all that negative vacuum pressure. And another thing I'll actually mention is that silicone is a great material to use on your engine, especially somewhere where it's really close to hot surfaces. And that's because silicone actually has a material property that allows it to have a really high melting temperature. And that makes silicone a really great product to use in engine bays. So that's my simple little fix, guys. It's a little silicone bracelet. They actually sell them in black, so it completely matches your factory air intake. It's the exact width you need, which is about 1/2 inch, and it's the exact circumference you need, which is about 8 inches. And another thing I'll mention is that if you pick one of these suckers up and use it on any air intake, it's actually going to prevent that hose clamp from damaging your air intake. So I gotta be honest, guys, this is actually a quick little fix that has a universal application to any tube or any intake that you want to prevent from getting damaged by one of those worm-style hose clamps. And that goes for all makes and models over all years, which might be really important for some rare makes and models here and there. I'll go ahead and remove it one more time so you guys can see exactly what this sucker looks like. Alright guys, I'm going to wrap it up there for today, but thank you so much for checking out the video, and I hope that this simple and inexpensive little hack or fix for your air intake is something that you guys put to use someday. If you have any questions or any comments, please go ahead and leave them in the comments section. There's a lot of really good points there, and I'm really appreciating all you guys' input. If you liked the video, please go ahead and give it a like, and if you guys think this video will be valuable for any of your friends in the Subaru community, please go ahead and click the link and share it. Thanks again for checking out the video, guys. I really appreciate it. My name's Luke, this is the SubaruONLY channel, and until next time, guys, later! Thanks again for watching this video, guys. As you guys know, I'm a diehard Subaru enthusiast. And I've also had the opportunity to be involved in motorsports for over 2 decades now. But I'm also a professional hydrogeologist, and I've actually spent years in laboratories performing experiments where I studied the flow of fluids using the properties of physics and fluid mechanics. In these YouTube videos, I'm actually able to combine my experience from the laboratories and all the research I've done with my experience from all the motorsport series I've been involved in and my passion for Subarus. If you have any professional inquiries about Subaru-related R&D or digital marketing and media, you can contact me at SubaruONLYshop@gmail.com. Or if you work in private industry or for a public municipality and you'd like to contact me for professional environmental or engineering and design services, you can review my professional academic background, my professional research experience, and my professional consulting experience on LinkedIn. Just go ahead and sign into LinkedIn and look for Luke Shannon and then type TRC. That's the company I currently work for, and if you type Luke Shannon and TRC, I'm the only person that's going to come up. Thanks for checking out the video, guys. I really appreciate it. I hope to hear from you soon.